Today, we are diving into the first of our series of the first 2 weeks after birth, what to expect and how to get through it. Hello, you beautiful human, and welcome to the amazing, magical, special world of parenting. Parenting is really, really fun, and it is so beautiful. But the introduction to it, though, that can be messy and painful. We tend to do a lot of prep work on our birth, getting ready for it, envisioning it, even making a plan for it. But then we have the baby. We bring home the baby and we're left feeling like, what do I do? Now what? What's happening to me? If you're navigating the chaos and beauty of those first few days, stick around because I'm going to have a free PDF for each category that I break this down into. So let's break those 2 weeks into 4 different categories. Breastfeeding. How do you get a good start in your breastfeeding journey? What is happening to your body for those first 2 weeks after birth? How do you take care of a baby and your relationships with others and with yourself? Day 1 after birth. After the placenta leaves your body, your hormones get triggered to start to produce milk. And the first milk that you're going to have is something called colostrum. Colostrum comes out very little. It is thick, it is yellow, it is packed with white blood cells, it's packed with leukocytes, it's packed with lactoferrin, it's packed with immunoglobulins. It is this super food. It is there to protect your baby, to coat their gut, to help them fight any infection. Your colostrum is made to protect your baby's gut and to give them a boost. That's why it's called the first immunization. It is this liquid, gold, beautiful thing. Now, at birth, your baby's stomach can hold about 5 milliliters of milk at a time. Their stomach is going to grow rapidly in those first 2 weeks, but in that first day, this is about how much milk they can hold in their stomach. So your milk is going to come out in drops. It is not going to spray, okay? Colostrum does not spray. It's thick, it's sticky. It is made to coat the gut. It is made to be easily digestible so that they can poop, so that they don't get jaundice. So your colostrum will come out in drops. That's perfect. That's all they need. Remember, their stomach is not a 2-ounce cup. It's not a 5-ounce bottle. It is the size of a marble. They don't need much food, but they just need to eat frequently. And your breast milk is perfect. The colostrum is perfect for them because it is easily digestible, which means they poop more easily, which means they have less chance of developing jaundice. These are colostrum collectors. These are wonderful tools from Haka. I've included it in the links below. They're so lovely. You can fill them up with your colostrum. You can put them straight into the freezer if you want to, or you can use it as a way to feed your baby as well because the top pops off. So if your baby is not breastfeeding, like mine weren't for weeks at a time in the beginning because we had a lot of medical issues, you can use this as a dropper. I love these things. I honestly just suggest to get them, to be honest. And it helps the channel too. But it's a great gift to give. Latching. That first day can feel very overwhelming. It can feel like you have to get that baby on right away or else it is the end of the world. And I want you to know that you can relax. You can place your baby on your chest, laid back, and just get to know your baby a little bit because there is this innate instinct in them to move towards your nipple and they can latch themselves. You don't have to be manhandling them and pushing their head against your breast. It can be calm. It can be relaxing. There are also 2 types of sucks, nutritive suck and a non-nutritive suck. Nutritive suck means that they are taking milk out. They are eating. They're actively eating. Non-nutritive means that they're just like, kind of like playing around at the breast. They're relaxing. They're using you as a pacifier is what some people will say. But there are incredible benefits to even allowing your baby to do this and just lay at your breast. It helps regulate their heart rate. their temperature, their respiratory rate. It reduces pain. It calms their central nervous system. There are so many benefits to allowing your baby to just lay against you, to be on your breast without eating. How do you latch a baby? So if you don't want to do the way of them latching themselves, where they just lay on top of you, stomach to stomach, and you can squeeze out a little bit of your breast milk, they'll move themselves that way. If you want to be the one to like lead the latch, that's okay as well. I have a video on how to achieve the perfect latch. And one side note, there's no like perfect latch. There's a textbook perfect latch, right? But if your baby is able to get milk out, if your breast is being drained, if there's no pain to you at all, if it is comfortable and you guys are happy, you're both thriving with it, it's a perfect latch. But if you're struggling and you don't really know what to do, I have a video and I will put it somewhere up here. Future Jessica, put the video somewhere here. Quickly cheat sheeting. C-shape hold, compressing down, and then gently dragging the nipple down your baby's nose, pushing their chin down with your breast tissue, and then placing the nipple in. And then they will latch on and they will start to suck. If you have had your birth in the hospital, chances are that you were set up to an IV and you might have gotten some medication. This medication might have made you very sleepy, especially if you had a C-section. You're gonna feel like pretty drugged. And your baby got this medication as well because you got the IV while you were still pregnant, before you gave birth. So it's very common for babies to be very sleepy that first day. They might not nurse as much as you would like them to, or as much as the staff would like them to. Just keep trying. Express milk, hand express, pressing down, pushing forward. Get that colostrum out. Remember, you're not going to be filling cups of milk. You're just going to be filling spoons, and that is perfect. Before we get to milk supply and transitionary milk, I want to know if this has been helpful to you in any way. You like this video and subscribe so that more content can be made and more mummies can be helped. Milk supply. If you gave birth vaginally, most likely your milk will have a transitionary period where it comes from that gold, thick, small amounts of colostrum to more of a yellowish, whitish milk, and your breasts are going to feel big and swollen and firm about 2 days, 48 hours after birth. If you had a C-section, it can be 3 days or more. How you know that your milk has transitioned is you feel it in your breasts. Your breasts get fuller, they get firmer, they get harder. It's uncomfortable, and your milk is starting to change color, and it's starting to change consistency. It's changing from this thick, sticky yellow liquid to a more runny, whitish, still yellow liquid. Key to establishing a great milk supply in the beginning is get that milk out frequently and effectively. This means that if your baby is sleeping a lot and they are not nursing every 2 hours, or they're not removing enough milk from your breast, you're still feeling full after feed, pump. Get that milk out, store it up, put it in the freezer. You can use it for bath time. You can use it for when you go back to work. You can use it for if you just want somebody to feed your baby with a bottle and you want to sleep a little bit more. Store up that milk. It is great for you to just go into milk making mode right now, because that is going to save you a lot of stress in the future if you can get on it now. Your body is trying to figure out how much milk to make right now. And if we don't remove it from our breast, we're telling our body, don't spend so much energy creating milk. I don't need so much. So you want to tell your body, yeah, I need more. I need more. Keep making more. Give me more. All right. So get it out of your body. Pump it out. If you are looking for a way to boost your milk supply quickly, I've made a free PDF. It includes a pumping schedule if you're an exclusively pumping mom. It's a combination schedule if you are breastfeeding and pumping. And there's also some meals that I loved and I used personally to help nourish my body and help increase my milk supply. And it's free. Just look at it below. Also, I made this video on it if you want to watch this video. Engorgement. So we talked about your milk coming in day 2 or day 3 after birth. This is what your breast will feel like. Now, I want you to, this is typically when a lot of moms notice breast and nipple pain is during the first week after birth. And oftentimes it's because we are so engorged that our baby can't latch onto the nipple. Just imagine, right? This is a baby's mouth, trying to find a nipple on here and latch onto it. You're just going to be biting the tip. You're going to be causing pain. So, how do we solve this problem? Now, baby can latch on. Baby can grab more. Hand expression. Get that milk out of your body. Soften your breast before you latch your baby. One tool that I love and I use all the time is a haka. There are so many versions of this now. You have like breast shields, you have hakas, you have ladybugs, you have all sorts of like milk collectors. But honestly, this was my favorite. Engorgement is very important to watch out for. You will experience engorgement. Your breasts are gonna, if you have a full milk supply, your breasts are going to fill up. And you need to get that milk out. One, to help your baby latch easier, save you and them frustration, save you some pain, but also to prevent mastitis. What is mastitis? It is when milk has sat for a little too long in the body that it starts to congeal and it starts to create this infection. And you can get mastitis in 24 hours. You can get mastitis in an hour. You can get mastitis between a feed if you don't get the milk out quick enough. So it is really important. Apply some warmth to your breast, massage it, get some milk out. If your baby is not fully draining your breast, get a pump and pump the rest out, or get in the shower and like massage it out. You need to get the milk out so that it doesn't develop into mastitis. How do you know? Well, you will feel achy. You will feel like you have a fever. You will feel a little unwell. There will be warmth, redness. The skin will be raised. If you have darker skin, you won't see the redness probably, but you will feel inflammation. And your breast will feel warmer than normal and it will be painful. Get the milk out. If the fever continues and these symptoms continue for 24 hours, you need to go see a doctor because they're going to need to prescribe antibiotics, most likely, fortunately, to get rid of that infection in your body. But once you have had mastitis one time, it is common for you to have it multiple times. Where the pain is on the nipple is a sign of what is causing the pain. So, oh, where'd my boob go? There you are. If you have been pumping a lot and you're starting to notice redness, let's see if this will focus, at where the nipple connects to the areola and some cracking, this is a sign that either you're pumping too strong or the flange size is too small and it's pulling that nipple into the tube and causing friction. So how do you solve that? You need a bigger flange, pump less powerfully, and also like applying lanolin or coconut oil on your nipple prior to a pump can help soothe. If you are noticing whiteness on the very tip of the nipple, before a feed, after a feed, and it just like, it's always hurting, could be two things. Could be vasospasms, which is when the blood vessels constrict and it's like a sharp shooting pain. If you tend to have cold fingers, cold toes, poor circulation, then you might have this as well. And warmth is what helps with this. So just applying warmth to your nipples. If you are noticing white on your nipple or like itch, and it's kind of itchy and it's burning, and you're also noticing some white in your baby's mouth, sometimes you won't, could be thrush, which is caused by a fungal or a yeast infection in our baby's mouth or on our nipples. This is commonly found after we've been given antibiotics, which if you've given birth in a hospital, especially if you had a C-section, you have been on antibiotics. And so if you are noticing white patches on the inside of their mouth, on their fuzzy white tongue, itchy burning nipples, could be thrush. Now, if your nipple is just in pain, it is hurt, it is cracked, it is bleeding, people are going to tell you sometimes that that's just how it goes. Your nipples will toughen up. You know, breastfeeding hurts. Don't listen to that advice. That's terrible advice. Breastfeeding should not cause your nipples to crack and bleed and be painful. That is a sign of a shallow latch, or maybe the baby is overcompensating their suck because of something in their oral anatomy. There's a number of reasons why this happens. So signs of a shallow latch is that cracking, bleeding, scabbing nipple. This is not something to grit your teeth and just bear through it. This is something to adjust. If you have access to a lactation support specialist or a La Leche League leader or somebody who can come and help you in person and assist you with that latch, take it. Otherwise, you can look at that same video that I put up there before. One thing I will say is to switch up the positions, because if a baby is putting that same pressure, like if they're getting a shallow latch in this position, because we're breastfeeding, cross cradle, every time we feed, they're putting that pressure in that same spot. So they're putting more and more and more and more pressure, and it's just going to get worse, and it's just going to hurt more. So switch it up and try to get a deeper latch. Cluster feeding. What is cluster feeding? It is when our babies eat so frequently because they're going through some sort of growth spurt, or they could be in some sort of pain, and they are nursing, and it feels like they're nursing every hour. And you just think, has my supply dropped? Have I, are they sick? Is there something wrong? Am I not making enough? It is very, very common for babies to go through this cluster feeding stage multiple times in the first year. It is most commonly found around week 2 or 3, week 6, month 3, and then month 6. So 3, 6, 3, 6 pattern. And this is a very rough estimate because sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 4 months, But if your baby is eating so frequently, but their diapers are still maintaining that same like poo and pee, and it looks good, they look healthy, they look hydrated, it could be a growth spurt. And it will pass. It usually lasts a few days. They're going to be feeding nonstop. So just keep yourself nourished, rest as much as possible. But it is a perfectly normal stage of infant development. It is just very exhausting. I really believe that if you can find a good system, you set yourself up for success. And postpartum is no different. We are creating and cultivating a season of healing. Everything in nature has a time of rest. Everything in nature. And in this world that we're living in, we are constantly go, 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 go. And even after birth, we kind of expect ourselves to get up and go, 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 go again. But that is our season of rest. That is our season of slowing down. It is our season of almost hibernating and healing and nourishing ourselves and getting ourselves strong again to get back into this world. And it can be wonderful and it can be beautiful. A lot of us are just unprepared for it. We just get thrown into it. I was for sure. I just had no idea what to expect. I struggled so much. So that's why I'm making these videos. That's why I've started this channel. One, to help moms understand what's happening, because I really believe that with understanding, you gain more confidence. If you just understand, it doesn't mean you're going to solve it, right? But if you can just understand what's happening, you feel more confident. You don't get eased into parenthood. We get thrown into the deep end. And we get handed this new human being, not just to keep them alive, but to shape them and nourish them and find out what their natural talents are and their skills and help them become the person that they're meant to be and have values and treat people well. It's a huge responsibility, and it's a beautiful role to be given. If this has been helpful to you in any way, please like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you at the next video where we're going to discuss your body after birth. What is happening in your body? Love ya. See ya, pizza.